Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Andrea. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. It is Monday, December 30th. We have two more days before the new year, 2025.
And your birthday.
Um, and yes, I will be 48 years old, y'all. 48. Loving it. I am midway between, not midway. I set an intention. And this came a weird way, by the way. So I was looking at my life insurance policy that I pay annually or monthly, depending on my mood at one point or another. And I was like, oh, it'll take 72 years for me to pay this, down, and it'll just be the policy will be paid, and I can do with it what I want once the policy is paid. So it'll be done in 2097. I was like, okay, let me do some math. So I started counting on all my fingers, ran out of fingers, and realized that that's 72 more years from today. I was like, so what is that? That'll put me at, oh, and then I was doing the math, and then boom, and yes, 120 years old, right? And so I was like, okay, then I have a new goal. I am intending to live to 120. Now, some people may not want to live that long. I want to be this cute little old lady that does jigs randomly for no reason whatsoever, cracks the funniest jokes that makes you literally split your gut open, but not that your insides are going to plop out, but that it'll be so funny. And life is great, right?
And still
So
still influencing and inspiring people.
exactly. Yes. Thank you, Bill. So Bill and I, as prior to we when we hit record of our conversations, we're always having these incredible and amazing before the conversation. And I'm just excited about everything that's going on, but we're always talking about manifestation. We're always talking about intention. We're always talking about mindset, which is a huge part of what we're wanting to help and support others to see in their own lives by practicing certain things, which brings me to um, wanting to share that those of us that are a part of the Your Mind Equals Your Life mindset manifesting in the law of attraction group on Facebook.
We got to come
uh,
up with some initials or something for that.
yes, and we will, and we'll shorten it, and then everybody will have to catch on to YM equals YL.
Or if you hear us refer to it as the Go Me Club.
The Go Me Club. I love it, Bill. So what I did is I created a PDF with just some tools or options that individuals could use to set intentions. And it goes anywhere from creating a vision board, writing yourself a manifestation letter, setting a word for the theme, which Bill and I discussed in our manifestation party this past Saturday, which went over really well. And we're excited for everyone that was able to join, and would love to continue to have these manifestations. We actually will have these manifestation parties or imagination parties. I keep calling them manifestation parties. But we manifest in these
Mhm.
imagination parties. So they are what they are. They're parties. We're having parties on a monthly basis. And so I created this PDF just as a guide for individuals to use either all, one, two, three, whatever makes their heart soar, and just go with it and practice it and use it. So it will be in the group as a PDF under the files. But please join us on our Facebook group, Your Mind Equals Your Life, and all those other lovely words behind it.
Mindset, manifestation,
And the law of attraction.
and law of attraction.
Yes. We may rename it just for simplicity, still with the same
The same
goal.
goals, yeah.
Yes, the
And,
same
and like your
goals.
and like your PDF, this is we always talk about for the individuals that we are influencing. or inspiring. I think I like the word
Inspiring.
inspiring more because that's my word of the year,
Yep.
inspiration. Tools. We share
Absolutely.
tools, whether it's verbal tools or physical tools. This one's an actual physical tool that they can print out, save it
Mhm.
on their computer, whatever they want to do. I'm not sure if it's writable, but can they edit it? I don't know.
If they, I mean, it's a PDF, so unless they have a PDF Adobe editor, they won't be able to edit it. But you can, I mean, it's not, it's not copyrighted material. So
Yeah.
just because I put it there doesn't mean it's copyrighted. If you choose to create your own thing, it's literally a guide. Do what you want with it, do what works for you. But I wanted individuals to have a guide, really, a guide to give you ideas for setting intentions, for creating the life that you want to manifest in your life.
So they could save it to their computer and then open up copy and paste it to a Word document if they wanted to, customize it for their own, however they want, take whatever out they
Absolutely.
want or add to it whatever they
Yes,
want. There's always a
absolutely.
way to do it
Yes,
where they could print it and write on it. Yeah,
absolutely.
there's a
Absolutely.
solution to everything.
There is. And so
Mhm.
the only excuses that there are the ones that we make ourselves because anything is easy when
When
you
you
believe that
believe
you
it.
can do it. So,
But going back to what you said a little bit ago when you first started, how we had a conversation before the conversation.
mhm,
And we do this every day. Sometimes the conversation's 1 or 2 minutes long. Other times, one time last week, I think it was 50 minutes long. Whatever
mhm,
it is, we have a small conversation. This is based on the relationship that we have as accountability partners. When we started as accountability partners, and then we just became much more basically now we're imagination partners, whatever you want to call it. So we take the time to get together and discuss upcoming thoughts that we're having, things that we're thinking about doing, our own intentions with the support of somebody else, and how it's going, so that we get a kind of a clear picture of today, tomorrow, the next day, whatever. And there is some accountability in it. I mean, like today, you mentioned the name of a book that we were going to work on that I've got it written down probably, but I'd forgotten it.
mhm.
So, and it was something that we can, intertwine it with something else maybe, but it just brings up and reminds us of the things that we have on our plate, let's call it. And it's
Absolutely.
my opinion that everybody needs somebody like that. And if you
Absolutely.
don't have one, it makes it a lot tougher. You need that person that you can, and I'm not talking about a family member, unless your family member is really into personal development and will be completely honest in the conversation, because the conversation has to be honest. But you need somebody that you can bounce ideas off, and they can bounce ideas off of you, and somebody that's in the same vibrational state, so that when you do have an idea that you think is a go, you have somebody to share it with that's not going to give you all the negatives why it cannot be done. It'll be an honest discussion on whether or not this is something that is tangible. So if you don't have one, um, we will find a way in 2025 to do that for you. I don't know how that's going to work yet. I don't know. But we will find a way somewhere in 2025, hopefully first quarter. Plate's pretty full for first quarter right now, but um, that we can arrange or do something that gives you that support. Support is so that should have been the word of the year.
Support.
Support, yeah.
Here's the caveat to all of this for anyone listening is that number one, you have to decide that this is something that you really want. And it's about a commitment to yourself. So Bill and I Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Abraham, and the list goes on, and Rhonda Burns, the list goes on, John Assaraf, I can start Bob Proctor, whomever you choose can give you tools upon tools upon tools and things and say stuff that just says, gets you hyped for a moment. And you're like, oh, this sounds really good. And then you go on about your day and you do the same thing that you've been doing all along and you don't make any changes. I will tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt that when I did that, because I am guilty, so I'm going
We
to
all are.
speak of Andrea. I am guilty of reading a good book, hearing a good speech, being inspired, and I'm on the go. But because I was only interested in it and I wasn't committed to doing the change, and my reasons were many at the time when they were. And I then began to wonder why things were not changing in my life, why things remained the same, and why I was in this constant unhappy place. And when I looked inward and I reflected on the things that I was doing or not doing, I realized that I lacked commitment towards self. When I changed my mindset, my life began to change. And I can say that from even 5, 6 months ago, my life today in this moment is unrecognizable because I decided, even at the beginning of my conversations with Bill, I remember that there were instances in our very first few conversations where I can remember in my own language saying things that indicated some sort of doubt, and that Bill would ask questions like, if you didn't have the stress, because I was talking about my investor as a stressful situation. If you didn't have that, the stress of your investor, what would you do? He didn't talk about why I was stressed. He didn't ask me, well, what is stressing you out? Let's talk about that and try to be a psychologist or psychotherapist. He asked, if you did not have this investor that is causing you stress, as you say, what would your life be like? It gave me pause and it gave me an opportunity to really think about, well, if I didn't, he didn't ask me, worry about how your bills are going to be paid. And he didn't ask me, well, find a job that's going to, make you feel better. He said, what would you do if? And I had to pause and I had to think and I had to reflect. And it took several conversations and it took several different um, times to be in my own space to think about what that question really meant. And for me, releasing the hold on something that was making me uncomfortable, not making me feel good, was more important than continuing on that path. And I had to decide for me, I had to trust and I had to put my faith that everything that I kept saying, everything is always working out for me. I listen to this every morning. Everything is always working out. Things are always working out for me. It doesn't matter what I'm going through, things are always working out for me. So if things are always working out for me, then what do I need to do? I need to change my mindset about how things will go and stop worrying about what could, maybe, perhaps, possibly happen and predict the future. Because in predicting what could go wrong, I am in essence giving that energy to the thing that I'm focusing on. This could go wrong. I could do this and this could, and all of a sudden I start seeing all the things. And so I gave that story because what you think about, you bring about. What you put your mind to or not, you manifest in your life. And so when I changed my mindset, my life changed and it continues to grow and expand in such a beautiful way that I'd be foolish not to continue on this path when I know where I'm headed, because things are just they're presenting themselves in magical ways, and that's the only way that I can put it. So change your mind, you change your life. You change your thoughts, things begin to change in a way that is you become unrecognizable to yourself. You look back and you're like, wow, that was me. Can't believe it. That's not possible. But it was. And what's more incredible is who you are today. When you make that change, it just mindset, mindset. I refuse to be unhappy.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. You said several, well, you said a lot. You said a lot. Uh, for those of you listening to this, you might want to rewind it and listen to it again because there was a lot said. There's a lot of valuable stuff. And I picked out five different words out of there. There were many more, but five different words that could be words of the year
Mhm.
for people. And you brought up that I asked you a question. That's part of what a coach does is or a teacher does, whatever, or a mentor. They ask a question and they try to get you to think
Mhm.
in a positive way. And it reminded me of something we talked about just before we hit record. And that was something that I told you that, I've always been inspired by an answer Rhonda Burns gave to somebody. How do you know the right answer to a question if you don't know the question before it's asked? And yet you can just spit it out right at that point. And and she said, well, I trust that the universe is going
Mhm.
to give me the answer. Even if the answer isn't for the person that asked the question, the answer will be for somebody else. So when you're involved in this and you really believe in what you're doing, you get the download, as you guys say, um, of what to say to people and how to say it. But then you took it a step further, and this is what everybody needs to do. Again, my perception of what you need to do. You need to reflect on it, and that was one of the words that could be somebody's word of the year. Reflecting. You need to get with the universe. You need to get with your subconscious, your unconscious mind, your God, your source, whatever we want to call it, in a quiet place and spend some time reflecting on what you are wanting to do or what you're wanting to accomplish. What that's part of your journey, and then listen for the answers. And the answers may come to you right there as a download from your source, or it may come when you sit in front of the TV later in the day, or it may come from the cashier down at the grocery store. That they all of a sudden say something that influences how you look at a thing, how you look at it, a specific thing. But you need to take the time to reflect it. And then you used another good word, magical. It is magical. These things are magical. We just don't take enough time, usually, to celebrate the magic because we want the magic to be huge. And even though it may be huge, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just little tiny incremental steps on your journey, but they're still magical. And we need to celebrate those. You use the word decide. We don't decide enough. We don't
Mhm.
really make the decision to do something. We make the I want to do this. Maybe I'll do this. That sounds good, but we don't decide. And when we decide, used another word after that, we commit, the commitment. And all of that goes along with the intentions that we make. You have to decide, which is the intention, and then you have to the commitment to go uh, through that. And then, of course, the word support. So five magical words, with magical being one of them, out of that little bit that you put in there, are just words. If you just take those words and implement them into your life, those five words, take one word today, another word tomorrow, whatever. Those five words can change your life. It's unbelievable. Well, no, it's magical.
It is. And the other thing is that when you don't decide, you're stuck in wishful thinking.
Hmm.
I wish I had that. I wish I could go there. I wish I could visit that. I wish I could meet that person. I wish. And that's all you're ever doing. And so when you're saying you wish and then you don't do anything about that wish that you wish to have, then it's almost like you're begging, which is also sending the energy of the lack of the thing. I wish I had this. I wish I had more money, which says for the person listening, for me, if somebody says, I wish I had money, they're telling me that they don't have any. And maybe they have millions, but their mindset, they could easily lose those millions, which you wind up finding people that have a whole lot of stuff and they wish for more, and then they lose it all because they don't know how to believe and be grateful and really just um, not not do anything about what it is that they're wanting to have in their life.
See, when you said if you had millions of dollars and somebody says, I wish I had more money, you know what came to my mind is they don't really want money. There's something else that they
Right.
want.
Hmm.
What is that thing that they really want? Because they already have the money. So let's
Right.
turn it around and say, well, I don't have the money. And you stay and you're still saying, well, I want $1 million. I want more money. I want more money. Is it really what you want? Or
Right.
do you want what comes along with the money? Do you want the freedom? Do you want the happiness that you think you'll have if you have that money? Do you want the money because you want to be more charitable?
Right.
You don't necessarily need it. You don't need the $1 million to do that. You can do all those things with what you have right now if you really want to. And by doing them and quit thinking about the fact that I don't have the $1 million, so I can't do this, then your life will turn around and things will get better. So it's interesting. And that wasn't even what I was going to say when you said what you said. There was something else that was really on my brain. But again, it goes out, it comes back full circle. Wanting is a circle. You just keep wanting. That's what I was going to say. Most people change the want to something else before they even get very far down the road. And they're just confusing the heck out of whatever their source is. Again, God, universe, your unconscious, subconscious mind, whatever you can consider that thing that we're connected to.
Hmm.
And I like the word God. I do. I like the word God, but I like the
Yeah.
word universe as well because it
Hmm.
seems so expansive. And I know from looking at books and things what the universe kind of looks like with
Hmm.
on my Star Trek journeys and
Right.
things like that. Whereas when you say God, you get all these different images in your head. So it's the universe is just something I can um, hang on to. But I like source too, because
Yes.
source says it's both of them. It's
Hmm.
everything. And just the connection part of it. So whatever your source is, whatever your God is, whatever your universe is, wants to hear what you really want, because that's what they really want to help you with. That's what they want to. And I'm using the word want because that's their desire for you. Their desire is to get you everything that you truly desire. So for me, I'll go back to the money. Would I love to see the, $10 million in my bank account? Yes, I would. But that's not as important as doing the little things every day that make me happy, because happiness is more important than $10 million. If I have $10 million in my bank account and it sucks because now everybody's pulling me in this direction and that direction, give them the money. I don't want the money. I just want to be happy. I want to be able to. I'm on the journey of helping and inspiring people, and that's more fun than $10 million in my bank account. That's
Definitely. Definitely. And again, it's about your commitment to yourself and about making a decision to commit to yourself and to your growth and to um, unveiling the power and potential that each one of us has within us. And at the source of all of that is God, is the universal force that is. And so um, when we're in our moments of silence, of reflection, this is an opportunity to connect with God, with Source, and to really just sit in silence and listen, because God is always giving us the answers in one way or another. It's a connection with someone who reaches out to you. Um, it's asking for rainbows and unicorns and being on a walk, and you literally come across rainbows and unicorns, you know? And so um it's really in what you're doing that is in alignment with your highest good, your highest vibrational self, your anything that is bringing you closer and closer and closer to the things that you want to experience in your current reality. And so when you decide that you are willing to commit to doing better, having better habits that promote well-being of the mind, of the body, of the spirit, of all of that, then you begin to see those things manifest in so many different ways. And before you know it, that $1 million that you wish for manifests by bringing you all the things that that money would have been able to afford you, whether it's a trip with family. It's not about the $1 million, it's about the fact that you get to go somewhere you've really like dreamed about with your family and you get to spend time with them, or it's just a conversation with an individual that is able to be a support partner to help you hold yourself accountable, and they're able to exchange ideas like Bill and I do when we're having our conversations. It's just it can come from anywhere.
When those things that you truly desire become more important than the $1 million that everybody has told you that's success. $1 million is success. But when those other things like going, being with a family or doing whatever it is that makes you happy become more important, you'll find out that you're living a millionaire lifestyle without the $1 million. And
Mhm.
what's more important, the $1 million or the $1 million lifestyle? To me, it's the lifestyle. So, uh, and again, we're like any other teacher or coach. We offer these services to people. They can have one-on-one coaching with us or two-on-one. We like to gang up on them, so it's two-on-one. Or one-on-one, whatever you want, or group coaching. We do all that, and we have courses that people are will be able to purchase, and we do all that. But it's not about the money that we get from that as much as it is about the inspiration that we give them and watching people grow.
Mhm.
I mean, you mentioned, and this time I won't say a name, but you on our Saturday night thing, you mentioned a particular individual that it just gave you goosebumps because you could see the
Mhm.
growth that has just happened in such a short period of time, even though we've known this person for a long period of time.
Right.
But in the short period of time, how it has changed. And I know for a fact that this person has been with other coaches going through mindset. I know that she's been, or that they've been through courses on money. They've been through all these things, that they're in other groups where they're just talking. Um, Looked like my chair just went down. Did it?
Uh-huh. Because you went down, I was like,
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't feel it though. I just saw it. Anyway, maybe my camera moved. Maybe that's what it was. But anyway, you actually observed the
Mhm.
growth. And I would like to say that I observed it that evening. I acknowledge it now that I think about it,
Mhm.
how different it was. But I think I was at the time I was probably busy chatting, talk, 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 talk. Um, but yeah, it happens sometimes over a long period of time. It's an accumulation of things that you've learned and heard, and then one person says the right thing to you somehow, or
Mhm.
gives you the that nudge that gives you the confidence and the expectations of your dreams coming true. And then all of a sudden, it's extremely noticeable that you have changed and that your
Right.
mindset is now offering you a different vibrational state. And that's not to say that this individual doesn't have more growth to do. We all do.
Yes.
But it's so nice when you can see it because it feels so good to us,
Yep.
you
It
know.
it definitely does. And that speaks to um what we're trying to do. And the focus is on impacting people in a positive way that is helping them to grow and develop into the best version of themselves. I don't take any credit for any growth that anyone does. I'm honored to be in the presence of individuals that are growing because they decided, just like when Bill asked me that question several months ago at the beginning of our connection, Andrea, what would you do if you had your ideal situation? What would you do? And I made a decision because there's a difference from when we first met and I was feeling a bit down. I'm not a negative person by nature, because I choose not to be. Um, at one point or another in my life, I may have felt down and felt maybe depressed or, just not in a good vibration space. And so things that I didn't like were happening quite frequently. But when I started making a change, and Bill said something really, really important is that everyone, we have never arrived. We're always arriving. We're always continuing to grow. And so I may have a moment of self-doubt and I may have an experience a situation that may feel overwhelming. And that's just part of life. And it's not about the experience that you're going through that doesn't feel so good. It's how you respond to what's going on and knowing that you've had all these different tools and that it's okay if we do fall down because we get back up and try again and move forward and try again and move forward. And we continue to grow and expand. So there isn't anyone that I know of that is perfectly perfect and has no issues ever, never stumps their toe, never gets toothpaste on it, never has a bad hair day. I don't know of anyone.
We all have moments of self-doubt. We all do. I don't care who you are uh, in this world. You do. What do you do when you have the moment of self-doubt is what is important. You can dwell on the self-doubt and start thinking about the negative and start spiraling downward, or you can think of something that will help you move spiral upward and move forward. So if say it's in the arena of money, and you can't think of something that makes you spiral upward because you've never been successful with in the money arena according to your mindset,
Right.
then think about a different arena where you've succeeded and been successful at something that you've wanted, and use those feelings to feel good and to not spiral downward and move forward. And know that if you can do that, why can't you do this? You know, what helped you do that that can help you do this? And you do it that way, and you celebrate the fact that you can do it, you
Mhm.
know, and that they say being other people that I've listened to, you just the path will show up as long as you stay, as long as you keep believing and staying in that vibration that allows the path to show up. But if you are in the spiral going downward, the path going forward is not going to show up. The path is going to be backwards, and you're going to just keep getting, you're just going to keep feeling worse and worse and worse. So it goes back to mindset. It always goes back to mindset. Don't let anybody else tell you that I didn't say that, because I did say that. They
Yes,
may say
my
it's something they may say it's something else. They may have a different word. They may have a cliche. They may, coaches like to say something that's controversial, so you'll listen to them. So it's not your mind. It is not your mindset. It's your subconscious mind. It's the same damn thing, you know. Uh,
it is.
so,
And one thing that anyone who's watched anyone who inspires them, they've said at one point or another, and my mentor and someone I consider to be a great leader in her right is Lisa Nichols. But she's said there are times where I have self-doubt, and you would think that she's had, you know I believe at this point is probably 30 years of experience in what she's doing. And she has moments to this day. We all do. We all have doubts of some sort. She was just on Broadway and she expressed that there were doubts and I'm sure that she had fears and doubts like all humans, we all have fears and doubts, and what you do with it is you allow yourself to be in that moment, but then you remember that you have so much available to you that you can use to remind you that you can move forward, and we don't have to step backwards and set ourselves back. Some of us choose to go backwards, and we do get sent back to a time where we were not too happy, but that's part of the journey. It's part of growing. It's part of becoming, um, continuing to be on that becoming path to being the best version of yourself. And it starts with your mind.
Well, and think about it. Between the age of birth and 7 or 8 years old, I don't know anybody that had control of their life between those years where they could actually say, okay, I'm not listening to you. I'm only listening to this person. I'm only going to let you program me from this positive person, not this negative person. No, you were with whoever it was, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, your coaches, whatever it was, between birth and 7 years old. And all of them had their own programming, their own mindset, and they're teaching you the same things they had. So we didn't have any control. I mean, I know, and I don't know the name of the person. I should, but again, it's a name, and I've convinced myself I'm not good with names. Uh, he said, give me a child to the age of 7 or something, and I'll show you the man, because within those first early years, you are so vulnerable to the programming around you, and you become a clone basically of whatever it is you learn and absorb during that period of time. Of course, it keeps going, but those are the most vulnerable years. So, um, and that's why in one of our imagination sessions that we had, one of part of the closed eyes meditation was about envisioning yourself as a young child being supported in everything, because this one was on financial abundance, about everything financial, and everything was supported, and how you were taught all the right things as a child and as a teenager and as an adult. And if you can imagine those things enough and feel that, that's one of the steps. But I had an individual one time, when I said it's all mindset, say, no, it's self-concept. It is not mindset, it's self-concept. Okay, what's self-concept? Well, it's what's going on in your mind. Well, what's mindset? It's the same thing. So back to what I was saying. So coaches like to say something controversial, so you sometimes so that you'll want to hire them or listen to them or give them more credence. But it comes back to your mind. So we'll take set out of it. We'll just take it back. It comes down to your mind. And then it comes down to the will. Do you have the will to change your mind, to change your mindset? No.
Absolutely.
9:30.
This has been great, Bill,
It's been.
as always.
Yeah. And for those that you don't know, we do this pretty much every day. But if you want more of us, or more of the people that we hang out with, the kind of people that we believe that are instrumental in living a better life, join our Facebook pages. I think we're in the future here even going to start doing more reels and more um, what is it, life story things that pop up on Facebook. Maybe even TikTok. You never know. I've thought about Andrea wants to dance the jig, so she can dance the jig on TikTok. So, and I know that might be controversial to some people as far as that platform, and really, that's the only reason I'm hesitant to be on it right now, is because I'm waiting to see whether or not it'll still be around rather than do it. So. And join our Facebook pages. The new one is Your Mind Equals Your Life. And the new name for this particular channel, if you're somehow don't have it, is the Dream and the Journey. I changed both of them, even though one of the individuals on our Zoom the other day said they when they looked it up, they found the musical group Journey. So you know, uh, it's at the Dream and the Journey, all one word, of course. So, And I don't
Eh,
think it has to be what capital letter is what capital letter on that one. So
Nope. Yeah, and just to let everyone know, subscribe to our channel
yeah,
because this it helps us grow. And then we're able to continue to expand our reach. So if what anything that we've said today is of value, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and ask a question. And as we continue to grow, we'll one of my intentions is to make sure that when individuals respond and actually have a question, that we're being mindful to respond to questions about anything that we've shared. So we would love to, again, continue to grow, expand our reach, and impact and inspire many more. So we are extremely grateful for those of you that have already joined, that have already subscribed to At the Dream and the Journey. And again, if you're getting value out of what Bill and I are chatting about each day, share our YouTube channel with someone who you feel would also gain value of that. And we really, truly appreciate all the support that we receive as Bill and I support each other on this journey that we're on to inspire and impact humans all over the world. So
there you go. And
there
the
it
good part
is.
about it is we can do it from all over the world.
Absolutely.
All righty. I guess that's it for today. Again, don't forget to hit like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that. Join our Facebook groups, especially the newest one that we just established last week, which is the Mind Equals Your Life. That's part of the Go Me Club. You can become a member of the Go Me Club and be your own Chief Inspirational Officer, your
I love that.
CIO. So
Hmm.
until tomorrow, or until the next time we hit record, anyway. Sayonara.
Toodaloo, darlings.
See ya.
Bye.